Well, hello there. We are Hannah,
Echo,
and Crystal.
And this is a news, culture, and current events podcast from the perspective of 3 YouTubers. Hey, Echo!
Yes, Hannah?
What are you salty about today?
Today, I am salty about conventions and also, like, meeting YouTubers in IRL space, which generally happens at conventions.
Me too.
Same.
I'm very salty about it as well. What a coincidence that we're all salty about the same thing at the same time.
Right?
Isn't
it amazing how that happens every week?
Almost.
Yeah, but we totally didn't. This is very casual. All right.
Yep. Totally candid.
So, in the last couple of years, conventions have been, like, getting to be a bigger and bigger deal. Of course, like, they've been around since, I don't know, was VidCon the first one?
Like 2006, 2007.
Yeah.
I want to say the first playlist was in, like, 2006, but I could be
That
wrong.
sounds
Something like
about
that.
right. I don't remember. I didn't put that down in my notes. It
maybe
is like the
2007.
9th annual
But yeah.
VidCon. So VidCon's at
Is
least
it?
been around for 9 years.
Yeah.
Since a while. It's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since YouTube, YouTube fans have been getting together. But they have been getting stupid popular very recently. Which is, I'm happy about that. That seems good to
Yeah,
me.
it's understandable.
Yeah. And they've been getting more, I don't know if more fun is the right word, but more like professional business?
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
I
Yeah.
don't know. They feel fancier. I don't know.
Yes. Fancier is a good word.
They feel
Yeah.
a little bit more like corporate events.
They do. They have cooler things a lot of times.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a better way to put a good spin on it.
Yeah.
Not just business, but like they have more funding. So I guess that's a good
Yeah.
thing. We have a lot of mixed opinions.
Yeah.
So
There's pros and cons to having things like
of course there is.
businessy and corporate.
Ugh. I hate it. I really do. Okay, so the most popular ones that I've heard of, at least, maybe you guys have heard of things that I haven't, but there's VidCon, there's Playlist Live, Glamour Con, which I've never been to, but I've
Yes,
heard of.
and Buffer
Never
Festival.
been to,
Yeah.
This is going to be my first year. I'm excited.
Whoop,
If you guys want to go, or if you plan to go, I can get you guys invited and stuff.
Oh, shoot. I think I got an email for it. Is it Michael Buckley?
Yeah.
Am I wrong about that?
Yes.
It is. Okay,
It's
cool.
in-
I did
I
know
would, but it's the travel.
It is
I
in
would. If travel was covered, I
California.
totally would.
It's California.
yeah.
If you can fly here,
It's the monies.
Oh, man,
yeah,
money.
that's
What's
always
the,
the bottom line, right? It sucks.
I
It's
want
the
to...
insert the bridesmaids gif. Help me, I'm poor. That's me.
Help me, I'm poor.
Yeah, it's really cool because it's like an invite-only event.
Yeah. I like that it's invite
Yeah.
only, but if
Yeah.
it wasn't the flight, I would like it more.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think GlamourCon's only for YouTubers? Am I wrong about that?
Yeah,
Okay.
which is really cool. So it's just like, it's like a middle... I guess we could start with Glamour Con, because I haven't been, and I've heard good things, and I really like the concept of it. So because it's, like, invite-only, it makes sure that it's just, like, YouTubers who are going.
I like that
And
a
it's
lot.
usually, like, more middle-tier YouTubers.
Not that I don't love seeing
Yeah.
fans, because that's like my favorite
Yeah.
part of VidCon. VidCon for
Yeah,
me
same.
is seeing my
Yeah.
friends. That's it. Like,
Same. I feel like
and-
that's how most conventions go, though.
Yeah,
Like,
for
most
sure.
conventions are meeting your fans. This one has, like, a really, like, it's a different appeal because it lets you meet, like, your peers.
yeah. I like that as well. I hate networking, and that's what
Oh,
it
yeah.
feels like a lot. It doesn't
Yeah.
feel
Oh,
like you're
yeah.
just talking to people. It feels like you're trying to network, and I'm like, I don't have an ulterior
I'm-
motive, I promise. I just want to be friends.
Let me be
I'm
friends
hoping
with
that
you.
it will be casual.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah.
I bet it'll be good. I like Michael Buckley. I think he's neat.
Yeah. He does good work.
Saw him at a OG YouTubers panel. So, like, he's been around since the beginning.
He's been around for forever.
So it was him. It was Charlie is so cool. Like he was on that panel as well.
Mm-hmm.
It was Olga K. Or I think it was Olga K. Yeah, you guys remember her, right?
Yeah.
She's fun. And a couple other people that I can't remember, but it was really good. And yeah, I love listening to people who have been around on YouTube for like 10 years.
Yeah.
And they're just
Yeah.
so tired of all this shit. I'm like, you are
always.
great.
They've lived through it
Yeah.
all. They're
You
like
have
YouTube
way more
veterans.
reason than me to be salty. We should go to GlamourCon together one year. Maybe
I
not
know.
this
I want to
year.
go to all of
Yeah.
these together.
Me too. Oh, I want to go to.
Same. I've never been to a playlist.
I've never been to a
to a
playlist
playlist.
either. They look like so much fun.
Yeah.
Like, really?
I've been to one summer in the city, but I kind of had, like, that was at the peak of my, like, mental health problems, so I made it to, like, a day and a half, and then completely broke down and cried in a bathroom for, like, half an hour.
You know, that'll happen.
That happens, dude.
I cried my first VidCon. But in like in a happier way, it was more like I'm overwhelmed with this because I know, right? Sweet little innocent baby Hannah couldn't handle
had no idea what was
coming. It was specifically Dan and Phil. I saw them in person and I lost my mind. I didn't do it in line like all the other wimps. I'm just kidding. But once I got back to my hotel room, I just laid in bed and I was like sobbing.
Oh my god. Aw, Hannah.
I was a baby. I was a little girl. Yeah.
That's what it's like. Like, I went to, The Amazing Tour is Not on Fire, because it was in Phoenix, and no YouTube event ever comes to Phoenix. Like, I go to all of them if they find out they're coming here.
Heck yeah.
And, like, yeah, so it was just, like, there were so many, like, young girls, like, crying, and it was, like...
Oh my gosh.
When I was in line at VidCon for their, like, it was, like, an hour and a half or something of standing in line, and every single girl that walked back down, like, walked out of the line, you know, was just sobbing. And I was like, are they just punching people in the face up there? Like, you get up to the front of the line and Dan and Phil just both clock you in the face. I was like, that must be what's happening.
It's not even Dan and Phil, it's just some random person, like...
Two tall British men, they just punch you. It's like, bye. Dan and Phil send their regards.
It reminds me of that
terrible.
Mean Girls quote, Dan and Phil punched me in the face once, and it was awesome.
That would be me. I'd be like, I'm down, I'm here for it. Please and thank you. Jeez, yeah, that was, it's an emotional experience. I also went to the Amazing Tours Not on Fire. I left with a different vibe than I did the first time, because it was more, I was older at that point, and I was more like, oh no. These baby girls, you know, they're just so baby. Like I was once before, you know, I lost my innocence to the internet. Specifically Tumblr. Gonna blame all of my innocence being lost on Tumblr. It's gone.
Ruining childhood.
Yep.
Since however long it's been up.
For years.
Another part of the reason I went to that was also to meet people, like, of my own fan base and stuff, so that was cool. So I got to get a bunch of pictures with random people in the line.
Oh, that's awesome. See, nobody knew me. Not a single person knew me when I went to Amazing Tours Not on Fire.
Nice.
And I don't even know if I told anybody I was going. I might have not. I don't remember. It was back in the day when I was a baby YouTuber, too.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
But I was like, I kind of didn't want anybody to notice me.
Yeah.
I was like, don't see me. I'm invisible. That was a good time, though. I really did have a good time there. They're good in person. They're good performers. Okay. The next convention that I have written down is BeautyCon, which
That's one I have heard about a little
stories. Bit. Have you guys heard good
Really?
things? I've heard of horror.
No,
stories.
I just know it exists.
Okay.
Like, it's a thing.
Same.
I've heard it's the worst planned convention for YouTube.
No.
That's what I've heard. Never been, so correct me if I'm wrong, please. But I've seen videos and, like, watched clips of it and stuff. It looks like a shit show. They are not organized. They don't protect the creators, which is not okay for people who have, like, millions and millions of subscribers, by the way. It is not safe to be at conventions if they're not going to protect you. Yikes. Yeah. And everybody just stands in line for, like, fucking 6 hours, which is kind of what my first VidCon was like, to be honest. It was like just standing in line, and
that was before they had the Vidcon Lottery, right?
Yes, it might have been 4 years.
We should explain what the lottery is.
Yes, so I'm super thrilled. There are mixed opinions. I'm super thrilled about it. They, instead of having people wait in line for 6 hours to see their favorite creator, they put everybody who wants to. They let you pick your favorite YouTubers when you're getting your tickets. And then they put all the people who pick the same creators in a lottery, and then they either give it to you or they don't. So it's basically like some people get to and some people don't, which is what the line was anyways. It was just you're buying it with your time, as opposed to you pay the ticket, you get to see lottery people. Which I like a lot better, because there's not one person who I had to see, you know? It was a lot of people that I was super pumped to see. So it was good for me, but if there is just one person, honestly, you shouldn't be going to VidCon anyways if it's just the one person.
Yeah.
That's not really what VidCon's about. It's about
Yeah.
a ton of different people. And you'll also get to see them at panels, so I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Which are kind of more fun.
Well, now it's different. So you can only go to the panels or meet the creators because they've got the way that the creator badges and the community badges are set up. Which
yeah,
I
the
also
creator
like.
Panels, that is. There's, like, panels for community.
Oh, yeah. So, like, the panels
So
downstairs.
there's different tracks for VidCon. We keep talking about VidCon. It's just because it's, like, one we've all
the
been
main
to.
one.
That's the
and it
big
is the
one.
main one.
That's
yeah,
the
30,000
big
people
one.
went last year, by the way. I didn't realize it was that many. It felt like less, or maybe...
Yeah, it did.
I don't know. I don't know what 30,000
It's
people
well
looks like.
organized.
It is very, very well organized.
Yes, it is.
But yeah, last year we went, there weren't that many crazy lines. Like, it felt really okay. Pretty much always, I thought. I didn't wait for hours and hours for anything, which was nice.
No.
But yeah, the tracks. Sorry. I got off topic.
Yes. The track, like there's a community track, creator track, and industry track, and then there's the magical yellow badges that we will never acquire.
Nope, never.
Oh.
I've
Not
seen
ever.
them.
The ones that create
The mythical
The-
yellow
Yeah.
badge.
hierarchy and...
Yeah, it's a great time.
On my Discord server that I have, one of my peeps just the other night was like, "Hey, are you going to a con this year?" And I was like, "Nah, man, I can't." They're like, "Why, are you busy?" I was like, "No, it's expensive." They're like, "Oh, I meant like, are you invited?" And I just laughed. And I was like,
No, never.
no.
We weren't around
No.
in 2007. Sorry.
No, pretty much. And they brought up, they're like, "I thought Echo had talked to Hank." And then I was like, sips my tea. Like, well,
Yeah.
that's a good question.
That's a good question. Well, guess what?
Right.
Hank doesn't own VidCon anymore, so...
I know, which is a good segue.
Yeah. I'm fucking furious about a lot of this, but I also really like Hank Green and John Green, and I feel like
Right.
I'll always really respect them as creators and as business people. They are very smart. They know better than me. They know way more than me. So who am I to be like, your decisions are dumb?
Same. I trust them a lot.
I trust them so much.
This is Hank made a video actually talking about like all of his decisions and stuff on his second channel, and it was very comforting hearing him just talk about like this is why the things are happening. And I wish more business people would do that. Just I feel like people underestimate how humanizing that kind of thing is.
It's
is.
very important. And also it's nice to know that it's not just about money, which is kind of what my gut reaction was. I was like, oh great, you're in it for the paycheck. I thought you were different.
I thought you were different.
But it's not all like that, you know. And they're still keeping the senior leadership team at VidCon, which is great.
That was one of the things he explained, which I thought was, like, as long as they still have the same people who are connected running, because I feel like running the whole thing. Because I feel like a lot of problems with events that are run by corporations is that they have no idea what they're doing because they're disconnected from the people. They're disconnected from the people they're supposed to be organizing. And one of the best parts about VidCon was that it wasn't disconnected because it's run by people who are in the industry and who understand it.
That was
So
what was
I'm glad
so
that they're keeping the
different
same
about it.
leadership.
The
Exactly.
different thing was that YouTubers were running it, and you could tell. Like, it was... And in the recent years, I don't know. It's become so big that it's hard to keep... It's hard to keep it in a creator one-on-one kind of way. It's becoming one-to-many, which is not as fun. And it makes creators get a big-ass head, and then you have awful situations where they are, like, super egotistical and fucking douchebags the whole time.
Yeah.
And that happens every year. Every year there's, like, a big scandal where some creator does something crazy with the fans, and everybody's like, what the hell? Are you not a human? Like, what are you doing? Crazy Logan Paul running around causing a mob.
Oh my
That
gosh.
one freaking Instagram person who had like 20 or something
Oh my
thousand
God.
followers
So embarrassing.
yelling at one of the security guards.
Yeah.
That was... Ugh.
We can do a quick rundown.
Yeah.
Logan Paul, I want to say he wasn't invited that year, but he showed up
he
anyway.
wasn't. He did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Showed up anyway and was essentially just running around the convention hall, just doing really stupid things. Just dealing, like running with fans, creating a mob. Like, it was
He ran
stupid.
through the fountain, I think, and created
He
a
ran
mob
through
of
the
people in
fountain,
the
created a
fountain.
mob, screaming people, huge
Yeah.
security risk. The security guards had to drag him away for his safety, for the safety of the people.
Yeah.
He just created huge problems, and I want to say he's banned from VidCon. I would hope so. I trust Hank to ban him from VidCon.
I'm pretty
And then there was
they just
there was
don't-
that Instagram
there was this-
guy.
There was this entitled I rarely use that word because I feel like it's been overused, but this freaking entitled
Super
like,
entitled.
young kid who had like 20,000 Instagram followers, which I feel like this
a
is just
lot,
me
but it's
losing
also,
track of
like-
numbers. It's a lot, but it's not a lot.
Not really,
It's like,
yeah, I know.
it's not like, it's not earned. Okay, the level of like ego that he had was not earned by that level of followers.
Yeah.
Nobody should
It's
have
like-
that level of ego.
No.
TBH.
But it's like a little more understandable if you have like millions and
guess
millions. Like slightly. I could be like, well, maybe it just so many
can't
people it got to their
I
head.
think I
like,
would
but
ever treat a human like that. Because what the fuck?
no,
Okay,
of course
so
not.
essentially this dude, he was kicked out of the main hall. I forget where they were clearing it. I feel like they were clearing the main
Something like
hall, or was it just they closed some of the doors
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
for like crowd control.
Yeah.
And this dude was just getting really pissed at one of the security guards and calling him like irrelevant and ugly and like just
Yep.
like
He said
bragging about his
irrelevant
followers
over
and
and
like
over.
oh, I know, it was so stupid trying to make this. He just made a giant scene, made himself look like a complete asshole, and then it was just really stupid. And then what's his name? Louis.
Fun for Louis.
Fun for Louis.
Yeah.
He redeemed
Louis
the freaking
Cole?
community.
Louis.
I love everything because he found, so this broke and it was all over the internet because it's VidCon, everyone's recording, and just this entitled teen just became infamous overnight. And Fun for Louis, who's a freaking hero, and I love that I feel like he single-handedly redeemed this situation in the community.
Yeah.
So he found the security guard and essentially flexed his following, which was way bigger than this kid's, and was just like, hey, let's follow the security guard on Instagram.
Yep.
To the point where the security guard got more followers
Way
than this
more.
entitled kid.
Yeah.
I want to say
So
it was
many
like
more. I even followed
100,000
him.
plus.
Yeah, I
followers
think it
on
was as
Instagram.
well. Which, you know,
It was a lot.
it's not what it's about, but it made me feel real good. Like,
Yeah.
it's not about
It's
followers.
just like a good. It's like a silver lining. It's a beautiful, like, this is, because that's all that dude cares about was the followers. So to show him that, like, you don't have what you think you have. You're like, you think you're a lot better than you
The
realize, and you're
community
not better than
disowns
the
you, we
security
don't care
guard.
about you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
Boom.
love that. That was
Yeah.
that was one of my favorite things to happen during this last VidCon.
Yeah.
Yes.
This last VidCon
It's-
was way different for me than... Okay, so I've been 3 times. First time was totally as a fan. Second time was a mix. Like, I was getting a little bit bigger. And then this time was, like, obviously it was the biggest I'd ever been when I went to VidCon. Totally different than going as a fan. I say, as a fan, so much more fun. And I know that
I'm
sounds
sure.
like... That sounds kind of
No,
like,
it is.
oh, I can say that
It
because
is.
blah, blah, blah. But, like, for real, I'm not messing around. It's so much more fun when you're just a fan. It's not fun when you're a creator, even though it looks
Not
like
really.
so much fun when you're standing in a circle
not.
and you're like, oh, signing things, taking pictures. No, it's not fucking fun. It was fun for like an hour, and then it's not fun anymore. And I wish I was just a fan again, because it was, I was so excited my first year, and it was so emotional, and like I was so about it. I don't know. You know, that passion?
I feel like
gone. No,
I do.
See, I feel like with VidCon, there's this weird problem where they're not fully set up for like the middle tier
Yes.
creator people, and they're working on it. But I feel like
Yeah.
it's not like Glamour Con to me is the thing that sets up for the middle, the like
Yeah.
the mid-range YouTube creators. And with VidCon, it feels like there's just this really intense barrier where it's just you are a fan or you are like a creator.
Yeah.
And
A big
we are
creator.
because we're not invited but are still creators. We are right up against that barrier.
Yeah. And
Which
this
is
was
really
my
frustrating.
first year going this last year. I had never gone as a fan, and this was the first time that I felt it was actually worthwhile, I guess, as I'm older-ish, so I never was like, I'm gonna go see my people I love. I just never cared. So I was like, I want to go see my fans and potentially make friends and learn something as a creator at VidCon with my friends, you guys. And I don't know, it was... I didn't really have high expectations, but I kind of did. And I spoke at a panel, and it was kind of like a shocker. You know what I mean? Like, it was just kind of like jolted me to like a reality place of like, hey, nobody views you as a real creator at all because you don't have a yellow badge.
Same.
And I realized, like, none of the panels, all of the panels, as much as people tried, it was so, like, shallow, and I was like, I could be leading these panels better than these people. I know more than all of them. And
so many of them don't prepare.
Yeah. And
like, so many of them have no idea what the topic even is until, like, the day of.
Well, they're too busy, and I totally understand that. A lot of these people have, like, 4 or 5 panels, like, over the course of this, and that's a lot to prepare when you've got a full-time job. I totally understand. They should have smaller creators on those panels, is what I'm saying.
Agree.
Yeah.
Like, these panels need to be done by people who actually know what they're talking about. They know, and if not, like, I would understand if they didn't want to put all small creators on one panel, like they do for Less Than Famous, which is awesome that they do Less Than Famous, by the way.
Yeah.
Love that. Think it's super cool. That's what Crystal got to talk on.
Yes.
I think that program is
It's
awesome.
the best panel.
Yes.
It's a great panel.
It's great
in
every
my
year.
opinion.
And yes. But I wish they had more smaller creators sprinkled through every panel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Somebody
That
who
would
actually
normalize
knows what they're talking about.
Somebody who knows what they're talking about, and that would normalize the idea that smaller creators are not less than larger creators.
Hell
like that,
yes.
I think there is this, like, because there's such a separation that no small creators can be on the same panel as a big creator, it is still, like, subconsciously solidifying that, like, they are better than you, kind of a thing.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And by having all kinds on one panel frequently would be like, all creators are valid.
And also, I would like to say that they should have a panel submission for people who actually have like middle tier creators. Like, we're not the smallest people in the whole world. We could draw some people.
I think we would draw a pretty solid.
I don't know. The people that came
panel.
to my meetup, like there was a lot of people that came to my meetup.
Yes,
I don't
there
know
were.
how many people. It was a lot though. I was there for like 3 hours. So that's a decent amount of people. I could fill a small room. Like, they just need to give us a tiny room. We could do a little panel. It would be a great time. I don't need to stay at the hotel with all the fucking security. I just want one of those yellow fucking badges that everybody values so much and looks at you and sees if you have a yellow badge. And I don't know, man.
Yeah, see, that's I don't really care about, like, the stupid free drinks or the Calvin Klein, blah, blah,
No,
blah.
I don't
I just
care.
want the creators to not treat me like trash just because I don't have the yellow badge.
Same.
That's the thing.
I'm starting
I don't want to get
worry
kicked
that
out of the
we-
cool kids table.
Yeah, same. God.
Literally.
It's high school all over again.
Yeah.
I don't want to seem unrelatable or like we feel like we're fucking better than everybody else, because we're absolutely not.
Yeah.
And
Not
that's
at
the
all.
point of this.
Yes.
Is that nobody is better than anybody else. Like, fuck off
Yes.
if you think you're better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't want to be
man.
entitled. I just want... I don't want to ever get entitled. Like, feel like I deserve
No.
these things.
And that's actually another thing somebody mentioned on my Discord was somebody, Scott. You guys know Scott. We saw him in London. What up, Scott? He was just like, hey, you have like 50,000 subscribers. I was like, yes. And he was like, hey, how come you're not super egotistical and into yourself? And I was like, the amount of eyes that look at work I do literally has no equivalence to my value as a human. Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't understand. I guess it's a norm to assume people with a lot of whatever the fuck get egotistical, but it's just such a weird idea to me. It's like, I do a thing and people watch it sometimes. That's cool. Like, that's like on a human level makes nobody better than anybody, and that's insane that
Yeah.
people get
Yeah, in my head,
egotistical
I
like
have
that.
a popular vlog on the internet. It's like a popular blog. It's not a celebrity thing.
Dude,
It's just...
I don't even feel that fucking popular.
No, not at
I'm
all.
like,
Not
I
at
just
all.
do a thing,
I know,
and there's,
in
like,
the
a
grand
couple
scheme of
people that
things,
watch it.
Dude, not
Like,
at all.
I don't think I'll ever feel like a big YouTuber. Like, I don't think I will ever. Because
I don't
seeing...
think so either.
I've heard other, like, really big YouTubers be like, oh, I only have, like, 1 million followers, that's not that many, and I'm just
Only.
like, that's so many compared to what I, like, the amount of followers that follow my channel, and and then it makes me question, like, this is a pretty significant following.
Mm-hmm.
Am I underthinking this or overthinking this. Like, it's so hard to have, like, a realistic...
I just want to say I've never felt smaller and more trash than when I was at VidCon. I felt like a piece of shit. And that was this year. The year before, I felt so much better.
Oh, yeah.
And the year before that, I felt even better. And I had, my very first year at VidCon, I had a couple thousand on Tumblr. And I got recognized by one person, and I was like, I am the shit. I'm the coolest person here. Like, I felt like the coolest, and I had the best fucking time. And then, like, I don't know, it got worse from there.
Yeah.
Not to say I didn't have a good time. Like, meeting you guys was the highlight of my last year.
That was the best part.
If you met me at VidCon, you fucking made my life. It was fantastic.
Yep.
I just miss
always
the
best
feeling
part.
of
Instantly.
being, like, super passionate about meeting my creators and, like, not thinking that they're douchebags, because they all are, by the way.
They all are.
Unless we specifically called them out by name and said that we love them, they're probably a piece of shit.
They're a douche. You could just assume. Just assume if you saw us in any footage with somebody and we didn't explicitly say that person was cool, just assume they're a dick, okay?
Yep.
Yeah. You'd be safer.
And which brings us to another... good point, is meeting creators in real life is really fucking weird.
It's weird.
Yes.
It's weird when you're friends
like
with
in any
them.
capacity.
It's weird when you're fans of them. It's just really fucking weird.
Very first creator I met in person was Bernie Burns and Gavin Free. At the very same time, they walked toward us our very first day at like 7 o'clock in the morning at VidCon, and me and my sister lost our minds. Bernie Burns is, like, I don't know if he's CEO. He's one of the heads at Rooster Teeth. He's one of the founders. Rooster Tooth. I love Rooster Teeth so much. They do RTX, by the way, which I was going to talk about. It's in my notes. Love RTX. I want to go so bad. Okay.
Listen, what is that about? I don't know.
RTX
I'm uneducated.
is a panel, or not a panel. It's a convention just for, like, Rooster Teeth. And they have other, like, gaming stuff there. It's more of a gaming convention than anything else. Mm-hmm. I want to go so bad. It's with all my favorite people. I love everybody at Rooster Teeth, Cheeman Hunter, Funhouse, all those people. Oh my god, they're on another level, and they are so down to earth and cool. And that Bernie Burns, Gavin Free, coolest people ever. They were so chill, and even though we were freaking out, they were like, "It's cool, man. Just talk to us for." Like,
cool, man.
They were just like, "Hey, we can talk. It's all right." Because I was like, "Are you busy? Are you okay? Like, is it okay if you sign something really fast?" And they were like, "Yeah. Do you want any pictures?" And I was like, "Hell yes, I do." And they were the coolest. Anyways, RTX, super fun. I want to say it's getting up there with VidCon is how big it is. Like, it's pretty fucking big.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. They've been around since before YouTube.
Yes. They have been around for forever.
Dude.
Red vs. Blue.
Red vs. Blue
since the internet started.
Got me. Red vs. Blue got me through, like, one of the hardest, darkest parts of my life. Like, that's all I had to go off of, and I was like, Red vs. Blue, you make my life better.
Yeah. For real, though, everybody, if you don't watch Rooster Teeth, like, I think you should.
It's great.
Can't recommend it more highly. But yeah, they do RTX in Austin. They do it in Australia now as well, and I think they're going to do them in Europe. I don't think they've done one in Europe yet, but I know for sure they've done several in Australia. Those were the very two first creators I met, and I've never had a better experience. Besides Philip DeFranco. I met Philip DeFranco as well. He was super
nice.
cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
he seems like a cool guy.
Cool. He was the coolest. And I was like, I love your son so much. I think I said, your son's so cute. And he was like, he's going to get a big head. You better watch it. Something like that. And I was like, ha 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 ha. It's like a joke. I'm so stressed.
You made a joke. Oh my gosh, it's so true. You get like that. By the way, speaking of cons, are you guys going to VidCon this year?
I don't think so.
I am.
I don't think I
am. Yeah, Hannah, same. I can't.
Honestly,
I can't justify going unless I'm invited. I just can't. It's too little for too much money.
I'm like
closer,
a
Echo.
$80 flight. Yeah. Like, I'm like 60 to $80 away.
Yeah. I'm literally on the opposite, like, diagonal opposite end of the United States.
Yeah, literally the farthest corner
of
the
expensive.
US.
It was a few grand just to see people, and it was a good experience. I'm glad I did it, but knowing that all I would be doing is saying hi to like two friends and then trying to say hi to fans. Like, I can't justify spending $3,000 on that. And so, hey, VidCon, invite us, and we'll go. If you guys listening want any of us at any convention, you have to be vocal about it to the convention, like at them, or write a letter, or even if you're not going to the convention, like when VidCon, when you get a ticket, you can like type in who you want to see. If you even just tweet at them, like, we want to see these people, no matter whether it's us or somebody else, nobody's going to get invited to anything if they don't think there's a demand for it.
Note to fans, don't put big creators, because they're going anyways. Those, like,
exactly.
Dan and Phil,
don't do that.
Whatever the fuck, other people, they're going. They're
don't even bother.
They're gonna be there.
Like, they have PR teams who reach out to VidCon and demand that they invite the person they're managing.
Put people with under 1 million subscribers. Like, just put them.
Because those are the ones that might not be there.
Yeah. And that will mean
they're the ones who are less likely to be invited.
It'll mean more to them as well. Like, to know that you care enough to want to see them in person, it means a lot. And that's what I want to say. Like, when I say I had a terrible time at VidCon, the only redeeming value was seeing you guys. Like, that was that was great. Fucking amazing.
So fun.
Like, that's the thing that makes your VidCon.
It does.
Yes, absolutely.
Because, like, you don't feel like you matter. Like, it feels like VidCon wouldn't care if you weren't there. It feels like the other creators wouldn't care if you weren't there. But the people who watch your videos, they would care.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Who was the first big creator that you met in person?
Ooh, I think technically the first big creator that I met in person was Jack's Films.
Ah! That's
a good one.
Jack's Films in person.
He was so great.
He
was great. Jack's Films in Sear. It was part of their some tour of America something. It was, I forget, it was like it was their comedy tour thing, but they were one of the people who came to like Tempe, and every time a big YouTuber is in Phoenix, I want to go to their thing. So that was the very first one, and I got to like meet them, and I think I put him in like just a tiny clip in one of my videos because I was like, I'm at Jack's Films. And then I guess the second one was Boogie2988. I saw him at VidCon.
I love him too.
It was crazy because I had walked into the hotel, and then he just like turned a corner, and I was like, that's Boogie2988. And it's just like, just physical space there. Oh my god, there's a big YouTuber that I've only ever seen on the internet, and here he is right in front of me.
They
and I
look
was
so
just like,
weirdly
what?
three-dimensional, and you're like,
right?
It's real.
Yeah.
3 dimensions! 3 dimensions! I'm not ready.
Oh my god.
The internet is 2-dimensional.
All of the big YouTubers at VidCon, and it was such a slur. Like, I can't remember who was first. I think we were walking up.
Wait, do you mean when the circle happened?
No, I had already met a few. Like, I met Fun for Louie at some point.
Yeah.
I think he was the first one. I met him briefly.
Did the "oh shit, it's Joe Beretta" thing happen before that or after?
That was after. That was immediately after. So I had seen Fun for Louie. You guys are all probably wondering, what? Oh shit, it's Joe Beretta? Anyway, I had just met Fun for Louie, and it was really cool. I was a fan. He didn't know who I was. It was great. I was like, hi, you're travel places, and you're cool.
I dared Crystal to go talk to him because I couldn't do it.
And I'm not a wuss, so I did it. And then as I was like recording, like, well, that was a cool thing that happened to my vlogging camera. I was just walking, and I saw Joe Beretta standing there with like 2 or 3 people just talking, and like my brain just said, oh shit, it's Joe Beretta, and it just came out of my mouth very loudly.
It was great. It was so great.
But I'm sure he heard me. And anyway, the worst part about that was later in the green room, because I was in backstage for the Less Than Famous panel. He walked in, and I did it a fucking again, like, without meaning to. So I'm just sitting there on my phone, like, okay, da-da-da, and then he walks by, and I go, oh shit, it's Joe Beretta. And I calm myself down. I was like, don't say it loud again. Don't be that weird chick who keeps saying that. And then, so I didn't meet him. So I'm pretty sure the first person I met was Fun for Louie, and then when we were in the green room, Miranda Sings was back there, and I wasn't going to say hi. But another member of our group was like, can I get a picture? And I was like, well, if we're going to do that, then hi. Can I get a picture?
Was she in character, or was she just Colleen?
She was wearing the Miranda outfit, and she was Colleen, but then when I pulled up the camera, she turned into Miranda.
Oh, that's so good.
That's adorable.
She's so good.
Yeah.
She's OG as
They
well.
were good.
She's been around for forever.
Yeah. She's so cool. She was so cool about it. I was like, ah!
Yeah, she's one of the, like, she's one of the OGs that seem, like, super down to earth. And a lot of the ones that are the originals do seem way down to earth and, like, cool.
Because they've been around since it was a meme.
Yeah.
Like, since it was just a joke thing to do. Like, and they
They're
don't
the ones that were
have big
nerdy
heads.
about it. Yeah, they were the ones
Yeah.
that were, like, it was a secret, and they didn't want to tell their friends that they did it. And
Yeah.
those people are better. Sorry.
They
just
are.
They...
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are.
I feel like they had much more pure motives because it was just like, I just want to do this because I enjoy it and
It wasn't
things.
about the
And now
money.
it's like, even if you don't want to do it for the money, the knowledge of the money is still there. And
Yeah.
it ruins things a little bit. Just
Yeah,
knowing
it
that you
does.
can make money off of
Yeah.
this, it kind of ruins it a little bit.
Ugh.
It does.
Blech.
It taints the purity
It's
of the
tainted.
craft.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just about people doing shit, weird shit, and they can't do it anywhere else. It's not TV, and it's becoming so much more corporate, which kind of leads us into. We didn't ever really go into Viacom.
Yeah.
Viacom?
Yes,
Viacom.
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 Let's go ahead and, yes, tell me of the things that you have
Alright.
learned about
I've
Viacom.
learned so much. I actually looked into this because
Also, we should
I-
explain why.
Yes.
Viacom
yes,
has
that
bought
was a good
VidCon.
thing as well. So
That's
VidCon was
the
bought
whole thing
by
behind this.
Viacom about
Yeah.
a month ago. I think it was in February.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's. I hope it's not a big deal. It feels like a big deal because VidCon was so homegrown, creators for creators. It's about the fans and I don't know. It was made for creators by creators, and that is a unique feeling. And you don't get it in any other convention, and that's why I used to love it so much. And it's in the recent years, it's become less like that, anyways. So it has a different vibe every year, and I can't tell if that's just me because I'm in a different place every year, or if that is VidCon.
Yeah.
It feels like it's VidCon.
I think it's a combination.
Yeah.
I feel like it's got to be a combination because I know I'm getting like slightly desensitized to like the excitement of like big YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's still a little
get
there.
Crazy about like my
I do.
favorites. Like I saw even Hazel Hayes. When we saw Hazel Hayes.
Yeah, when we saw
that was the first time I saw her
Yeah.
in person. I talked to her like in chats and stuff before. And oh my god! And when I saw James and Jaden, I lost my shit. I was like shaking, and every time I see Dodie, I shake. I can't.
Shaken. You get shook. You
am
truly
shook.
get shook.
Yeah.
Every time
I
see
got
Dodie.
shook.
I've seen her a couple times now. Every time I see her, I freak the fuck out because she's just so stunning and amazing, and I'm like ah. But it's I don't know. Anyways, what was I even talking about? It's just a different vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It
Viacom. What do I keep saying? Viacom?
Yeah. So
Viacom.
before Viacom, it was Complexly, which I want to say is Hank's.
Yes,
well, it's Hank's
Complexly
company,
is
but
John
I
and
believe
Hank's.
Complexly owned
Yes.
VidCon. I
Pretty sure.
believe.
Yeah.
I'm 90% sure.
I know at least it was just John and Hank. Well, specifically Hank Green was in charge of the whole shit. And I was like, hell yeah, Hank Green. You know what you're doing.
Hank Green
I
is
trust you. You've been a creator since the beginning with John, the Vlog Brothers. They've been around for forever, and they know what they're talking about, and they get creators, and they get the fan base, and they know what they're doing in a not corporate way, but in a I'm a YouTuber way, which is very different. And I still trust them.
I do. I was hesitant
Same.
when I first heard it, but when I heard Hank go over like his reasons, I was like, okay. But at this point, you can't really know until it happens.
Yeah.
Like until we go to the VidCon, in which Viacom has set up.
Yeah.
Like,
I trust Hank's intentions. I should say it that way.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I hope they don't. I don't think they will change it that much because they know they have a good thing already. Anyway, let me just explain this real quick. Viacom bought it in February. What they're trying to do is expand their outreach, like conference outreach, and they're trying to reach Generation Z and I think it's Z, Z and Millennials, which is like every fucking company ever is trying to reach Z and Millennials. Like that's just the thing that people are.
That's
trying
why
to
they
do.
can't. It's because they're trying too hard.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, they are trying. It's not cool to try that hard, guys. Don't you understand?
Well, also, it's just like, how do we get these here kids to like our thing for the money?
Yeah.
And that's just not the way to approach it. Like, it's really not. We're not a weird generation. Like, honestly, it's just
fucking normal. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just
When they look at
I
it
feel
as
like
like
the thing is, They just have to treat us with respect. I've realized this a long time ago. It's why Bernie Sanders was so popular among the youth, because he never even called us millennials. He just called us young people. Yeah. And it's like, that's like the single most respectful thing. He would say like, young people have these concerns. He wouldn't like dab to try and win over our
That's why everybody hated
stuff.
Hillary, by the way.
Yes.
By the way. Don't try and be like, hey there, fellow kids. Just be a fucking professional if you're a professional.
Yeah, I feel bad. Like, whoever was in charge of Hillary's PR cam, Peyton, or whatever,
should be fired
I feel so bad for
forever.
her. Because it's like, she could have been perfectly fine, but she tried too hard. That's just personal opinion, politics
She's a
and
smart
stuff.
woman.
Anyway.
I think
She is.
She
I feel like she would have done a
well.
great job.
Yep.
Compared to the person who's currently in the White House, she would have done great.
Political opinions. Oh no!
What?
Oh no!
Oh no!
Yeah, we don't like Trump.
I'm not saying she would
don't.
have been the best president ever, but she would have been better than the wreck that is currently
she
going
had
through
problems,
the White House.
and that's why everybody was so mad.
Yes.
I just want to say something real quick though. She had the best chance of winning versus Bernie, who had no chance of winning. Although we all loved our little Bernie guy, it wasn't going to happen. And I think that splitting the vote really killed us. Anyways, this is a lot.
I don't know. I know there was. Well, I know this is political. I was gonna say, if the DNC hadn't fucked over Bernie, I truly believe he would have won. Like, there's a lot of Trump supporters who actually, I mean, it's ironic, but liked Bernie a lot. And the only reason a lot of people voted Trump was because they hated Hillary Clinton
I guess that's
so
true.
much.
That is true.
I believe with the firmness of my heart that the DNC fucked us all over. Anyway.
Yeah. No, this is a whole thing. As a person who is currently working with a politician to try and fix the world, the Democratic Party does so many stupid things where they just kind of think that they know better than the people that they are supposed to represent.
Yeah.
And the Democratic Party does so many stupid things where it's like, why are you trying to hurt your own candidates? You're just supposed to help them. This is the problem. Anyway, let's go
politics. Anyway,
stupid and complicated. Let's go back to conventions.
Yeah.
We have a lot of opinions, if you haven't noticed.
We do have opinions.
Feel free to voice your opinions in the comment section. I'll read them.
Oh God, it's gonna get so crazy.
Please be nice in the comment section.
It's okay.
Above all else, be nice to each other.
Yeah, be kind.
Be nice to each other.
Be kind.
So Viacom is trying to reach the kids. Everybody is. It's hard to do. I didn't know who Viacom was, really.
I've heard of them. I did. I knew
of them.
Okay,
as a large corporation.
A shit ton of things.
They own everything
they
entertainment.
Own so much entertainment stuff. They own all of Paramount, which is in itself crazy big.
Yeah.
They own CMT. They own Comedy Central, Logo TV, MTV, TV Land, VH1, Nickelodeon, which is big as well.
Yep.
Nickelodeon always had a big presence at VidCon, by the way.
They did.
They were always like a big expedition in our...
Yeah. It makes sense that they would want to buy them.
Of course.
They always had a presence. BET Network, and also they just bought Rate My Professor a little bit ago.
Which is so interesting to
that's
me.
Odd.
That is odd.
That's so random.
Love Rate My Professor, though, so I wrote that down because I was like...
Most useful site ever. If any of you are
helpful.
going to university or like community college, anything, look up your professors on Rate My Professor.
Oh, yeah.
It's like there's one time where I just ignored it for a more convenient class time. Worst decision of my life. Yeah. Should have taken like the 7 a.m. class with the good professor rather than like the 10 a.m. class with the mediocre professor.
It'll make or break your semester, pinky promise. The teachers make so much of a difference, and
they do.
Rate My Professor, it's great.
But Viacom owns them, so that's interesting.
That is interesting. I get it's the generation they're trying to meet, I guess. So, and then they own like a bunch of other shit that I hadn't even heard of, so I didn't write it down.
Yeah.
But yeah, the most important thing to me was that VidCon is keeping its senior leadership team. That was a very good sign to me. It shows that they trust what VidCon is already doing, and they're not trying to change it all up. That is a good sign of faith to me. And
because they're taking something that means a lot and that is very like precious and fragile, and they're like, I feel like they recognize that. Yeah. Because this is a valuable freaking egg that they need to take care of.
I feel like VidCon is like the last frontier of mostly untainted OG YouTube culture.
For sure.
And I say mostly because it is still like weird and there is still that tier and ego and blah blah blah, but it's so like it has that essence that we were talking about before, that YouTube in and of itself is kind of losing a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, more than a little bit.
Yeah.
It's because YouTube is completely disconnected from the people they're supposed to manage.
Yeah.
Unlike VidCon. VidCon is very connected with the people that they're representing.
It's led by a creator, which fucking YouTube you need to pick up on. Successful YouTube
Seriously,
things
just
need to
get
be
some
led by a YouTuber.
Get some creators. Get some YouTubers on your staff, please.
Just even just as consultants, just take them seriously. PewDiePie's fucking smart. Did you know?
Yeah, he is.
He's a loser so many ways, but he is smart. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. And he does it well, clearly.
Yeah. Somebody actually left a comment on one of our podcast videos saying I'm not a fan of PewDiePie, but good for you for standing up for him. And I'm like, listen, I was the biggest why is PewDiePie famous person when he first got famous. I was not his fan, and I still don't watch his shit, but I support the fuck out of him. And if somebody's not wrong, I'm gonna be like, he's not wrong. He's a smart guy. He has a business. He is successful. So why shouldn't we I don't know. Why discount somebody when they're successful and good?
Learn from them. I mean, if you're gonna discount somebody, discount the fucking dumbass Paul brothers, because what they do is not an art. I know they're just as famous, but that's not an art. And I fervently think that what PewDiePie does is very unique and interesting.
It is. And
I don't always like it, but that's okay, because I don't have to like everything to know that it's good shit. He does some good stuff. And regardless of whether you even think the stuff he does is good, he's smart and he knows what he's doing. He's been doing this for fucking years. He's been there since the beginning. I really do think that YouTube needs to, have him on speed dial.
And that's another thing about these conventions is, though we haven't really been to other ones besides, I know Echo spent a summer in the city, it's a good place to celebrate the culture of something that we're a part of. You know what I mean? And people who are running these things would do well to remember that and not take a page from YouTube's book and take the us out of YouTube. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're gonna make it TV, and you know what? Everybody's leaving TV, buddy.
They are.
Yeah.
All right. So one thing that is it's concerning with Vidcon is that they sued YouTube. It was settled in 2014. I can't remember when it was started, but they sued them for $1 billion over copyright infringement. And it was kind of concerning that YouTube would go out of business because of that for a while. And it was a big fucking deal back in the day. And it's oh, now you want to be a part of that community that you almost fucking killed at way early on. You almost killed it.
Well, I've heard the argument that the people who started that are no longer working there. That's what I've heard through the grapevine, is that those people who were a part of that do not work there anymore, and they have since obviously had turnover and hired more people. And
the internet moves fast.
The internet
all of this develops so much faster than any other industry.
And for them to have those main people to have gone, and then to have new people come in and be like, guys, no, really, this YouTube thing is the thing now. We should do that. We should do that.
It's what the kids are into
I'm
these
hopeful.
days.
I want to be hopeful.
I am always hopeful, but it makes me worried because they're so very epitome of corporate.
I know, that was my main worry.
It's just TV all over again. It's going to become more corporate and everybody's going to hate it.
TV
And then they're gonna move on. TV sucks.
Things change. The internet moves fast, and as I know, it's going to evolve. We just have to be mindful to evolve with it.
I feel like if the problem that YouTube is putting themselves in, if any other corporation, any other company that is more connected with the people pops up, YouTube will implode.
Well, that's kind of what I've been noticing. I've seen more and more creators being like, I'm on Twitch, like Casey Neistat and Jax Films and whoever the fuck else. They've been like, I'm going on Twitch today. Oh, Logan Paul was trending today because he got on Twitch and everybody was really mad about it. I mean, it just goes to
he can stay on YouTube, please.
I don't bring him up to continuously talk trash, but it's a point that Twitch is
He's the
kind
perfect
of up and
example of no. He's a perfect example of no.
He is very corporate and very produced, and at the same time, he talks down to his audience, and he's just, it's not the best we can do. I promise it's not.
We can do better.
We can do better.
Yeah, we're better. And we can go on and on and on and on about how this happened. No, about how he happened specifically. Yeah. And it all kind of goes back to YouTube.
We can make a whole podcast just about the Paul brothers.
And a lot of it does have to do with
the
YouTube.
Disaster.
We just have
favoring
salt. So much salt.
Yeah, we do. So much salt. We're so salty for so long.
Because that's what sparked the whole podcast was
It's true.
God.
January 1st.
Yep.
God.
Oh, goodness.
Okay.
Well, okay, let's talk about something more positive.
Yes. Positive.
Let's talk about... Didn't we want to talk about making YouTube friends? What's you guys' suggestions for making YouTube friends? Because conventions are a great way to, as much as it might suck and you might feel shitty, making friends.
Yes.
So how do we do that?
Yes.
I know. Make friends with small creators. They're so much better.
Yep.
They're so much better,
yeah.
I promise.
Oh, yeah.
They might not be like, oh, powerful friend. They're going to be so fun, so much more fun. And you know what? They could be more powerful, and it means more to have friends when you're smaller than when you're bigger. The bigger people don't care about you. They may act like they do. I promise they don't.
They don't.
It's different, and it's harder, and it's more uncomfortable. Make friends with small people, and just fucking be a nice person to everybody. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody.
Pretty much everybody.
Everybody deserves a chance.
I know a lot of people comment, like, how do you do the YouTube friendship?
It's hard.
And quick tips. Like, because I know a lot of this, I remember the sub for sub, man. Like, that shit is, like, it's toxic, and it's like a virus you can't get rid of. But there's a way to escape the sub for sub. So if you are a small creator or want to be a small creator and you want to make friends, and this is also, you know, for bigger people who want to make friends, whenever somebody comments on your video, check their channel. It's very easy. Just look at their channel.
Yeah.
And if you genuinely, none of this like, I want to be friends or I want more people, blah, 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 talk to them. Like, if you genuinely enjoy them as a person and their content, sub back. And then leave a comment being like, hey, I saw you comment on my videos and you seem cool. Like, no sub for sub, no subscribing, blah, blah, blah. And just follow them on Twitter. Be friends. And then if they're already watching you 90% sure, they're going to be like, oh shit, like, this is cool. You're nice. Like, some of my bestie, like, small YouTube buddies are just me being like, you seem nice. What's your channel? And then I look at it and I'm like, you're cool. What up, Kath? Anyway, she's listening.
What up?
I'm gonna also...
Yeah,
oh, sorry.
go.
Can I offer, like, if you want to copy what I did and make your own kind of BAM series and just talk about other people, people always appreciate, like, the exposure, and it's a good excuse to talk to people and show them that you sincerely do like their stuff, and you're not just, like, trying to, like, get, I don't know, like a sub for sub sort of situation.
Yep.
When I had more time on my hands, I would go through people's YouTubes and I would put them in my Panda Time. That's kind of a similar idea to your little BAM thing. It is a good way to just, like, feature little people on your channel. Like, I don't know. I always feel like it's way easier to feature people that are smaller than you, and it's better for them. They're going to care more about it. They're going to be nicer to you. It's just, like, good fucking stuff. Homegrown YouTubers. Babies.
It helps connect the small YouTube community,
and also,
too.
don't be afraid to reach out to people who are bigger than you.
It's true. It's true.
I mean, just be like, that's pretty much how I made friends with Echo. She was always bigger than me, but I was like, hi, friends, yes?
Hi.
And then she was eventually like, yeah, okay, I guess. And I was like, yes, friends, yes. That's pretty much how that happened.
You know, as Dan Howell
I think it was
says,
Rowan
just
Ellis.
stalk them. Stalk them forever
Yeah.
until they're your best friends.
Stalk your idols.
Stalk your
Rowan
idols.
Ellis made this beautiful
that's how,
point
actually,
about...
that's how, like, Char became our friend, and Scott, too.
Yeah, that's legit.
Char and Scott
Char.
and everybody.
They're our friends because they stalked us.
They just commented all the times on our videos. Just,
we noticed
they're really good about,
also.
like...
Yep.
Sorry, Echo, I cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was gonna say there's this girl named Rowan Ellis. She made this point about how, the hierarchy kind of naturally forms a little bit. At least this is me regurgitating what I think I remember hearing her say. Because you're afraid to talk to bigger creators Because, like, there's this natural hierarchy of, like, oh, that person has 7,000 subscribers, they'll never listen to me. So I feel like it's also important for bigger creators or, like, whatever size of creator you are to reach down or to, like, talk to people who have fewer subscribers than you, because there's so much less likely, it's so much less likely to happen the other way around.
Absolutely.
Yep, I agree.
And on that note, I want to say that Made You Look, Lex, super
oh my
cool. She's the coolest.
She's cool. My freaking hero. Lex is the best.
I saw that you guys got featured in her reaction video. That's
that was
super
the
cute.
Cutest thing. I love. It makes me so happy. She did send me like body paints, and I want to make another video with them, just playing with them. She's the sweetest human being.
I love her so much. Oh my god.
Cute.
And who else do we want to talk about?
If you want to subscribe to like another artsy person, definitely subscribe to Made You Look Lex. She's great.
She is the best. She does all this like,
and her skin is perfect.
Yeah, she has beautiful.
Her skin is magical.
Oh my god.
I don't know how. It's because she knows what she's doing because she's an esthetician.
Yeah, that makes sense.
My skin is like, you know those cookies and cream Hershey's bars where they've got like like all those bumps
with the chunks.
Shit? Yeah. When I put my foundation over my face, that's what it looks like.
My skin is just like 50 million colors, and it's not the same color as like the rest of my body.
Yeah,
so if I color match my makeup to my face, it just looks like it's not the right shade.
Oh yeah, I mean my skin is all different colors. I have too many freckles, and it's all just patches. It's just
freckles are in fashion. Freckles are coming in fashion now.
Not when they're on top of purple skin, like versus regular skin. Like I have to cover it up.
So essentially, the conclusion of this podcast is that we are all jealous of Lex's skin.
Yes. Lex's skin is beautiful.
I think that's a great note to leave off on.
We love her.
Yeah, she is
so
beautiful.
Good. Emma Blackery as well.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Emma
Blackery
is fantastic.
We love her. She's amazing.
We love Emma Blackery.
She's OG Salt. We look up to her.
We're not saying this because she found our podcast.
No. Who?
Could potentially be hearing
what?
this.
I admire her ability to be like, I don't give a fuck. Because I give so many fucks, and it's hard.
Oh yeah, me too. Mm-hmm. I act like that, and then I'm like, later in the day, I'm like,
I'm sorry. I was a little upset. Dude! Not to go off on a tangent, but like I can't tell you how many times like I've done the salt cleanse and then I got off and I was like, man, maybe I was a bit too intense. And then I listened back and I'm like, I sound so calm. Like
I felt so angry. I sounded so calm.
Yeah. I sound so relaxed and like level-headed, and in my head I'm like, I sounded like an insane angry person.
I think it's time to wrap up, my friends.
Yeah, I think so.
You want to say our platforms,
I agree.
Crystal?
Yeah, you can find us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play and YouTube every Monday.
Our Twitter handles are @HappyPandaParty,
@EchoIsWeird,
and @TheCrystalJoy.
And remember, friends, the human body cannot survive without salt. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See you next week for a cleanse.
Oh, yeah.
Goodbye.
Bye, guys.